Read about the things that happen throughout the world. Don't believe in everything you see or hear. Read all about it. Read all about it. News of the world. News of the world. Read all about it. Read all about it. News of the world. News of the world.
Hello and welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week are Andy Parsons, Ed Byrne, Russell Howard, Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Alan Cochrane. Our first round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of former Deputy Prime Minister John Prescott in typical statesman-like pose. But what does PTSD stand for?
Penis tickle surprises drunk.
Is it put that sausage down?
Is it Prescott to swallow Dorset?
How about Prescott's testicles suddenly descend?
No,
At 69?
I think it's Prescott's tired scrotum disintegrates.
Is he doing an impression of a Japanese highwayman and saying, please to stand and deliver? After scrotum, that was never going to work.
It's never going to work. There's always a dirty one, and then there's somebody who has to take a bullet so the audience get over the dirty one. Thank you very much for doing that.
Could it be Posh's terrible surgery disaster?
Is it just pies, Twixes, sausages, dumplings?
That is essentially the mother load Prescott is fat, isn't it?
Or is it
No, the
Prescott?
mother load is pulmonary thrombosis, sudden death.
Is it Prescott tries shagging donut?
In fairness, that'd be quite easy, wouldn't it? If you got a ring one, straight through.
Is it Prescott?
In fact, if you've got a jam one, it's actually much more satisfying.
You're right, actually. That's why Ed stays round Dara.
Yeah. The studio tour is a correct answer.
Prescott tries speed dating.
That's not it.
Is it Prescott tries sexy dance?
Is it Prescott tries swallowing dwarf?
Prescott's testicles shaved daily.
Is it Prescott? Have we got that right?
Prescott, you're pretty... Yes! Yeah.
Is it Prescott to stand down?
It's exactly the correct answer. Very good. The answer I was looking for was Prescott to stand down, refers to the 69-year-old's announcement that he will retire as an MP at the next election after 37 years in the Commons. He's expected to write his memoirs and enter the House of Lords. 69, he doesn't look bad. Actually, doesn't look bad for 69.
He looks like he's finally found a taste he doesn't like.
He's all right, though, Prescott, I reckon.
You're OK with Prescott?
I've got a fan of Prescott.
Yeah, good guy.
We're going to suffer as comedians once he's gone. He said brilliantly, after he'd had the affair, and he'd gone to the ranch of that bloke in the States, but people were mostly thinking about the affair, he went on the Today programme and he said, I want to be judged by how I am on the job.
I want to see his memoirs. It's going to be like the Doomsday Book of food. 1997 was a very important year for me because Marathon changed its name to Snickers. Is it called Sex, Lies and Battenberg Cake?
The life of pies.
He's going to walk into a lot of directorships now, isn't he? Gangsters, Free Bentos, Nando's. What I like about Prescott is he'll use the money that he makes getting onto the gravy train to create an actual gravy train. Anyone else got any fat
A
jokes?
little hat. Paul, we'll be exhausted of fat jokes soon enough, I think.
But brilliantly, he's now got a job in Europe, hasn't he? He's
Yes,
some
he has,
representative to some European sort of parliament thing, in which he will have the distinction of being the only English politician ever to be simultaneously translated into English. We also used to say it was they used to really panic. Every summer there was a thing about how when Tony Blair was on holiday, John Prescott was left in charge of the country, and everybody went, oh my God, Prescott's in charge of the country. And you think, actually, that's much less dangerous than him leaving the country on some parliament, like John Prescott sorting out Middle East peace, going, I'm here to sort out Middle East peace, but frankly, If somebody hits you, twat them.
So the gist is, when Blair goes away, he was basically the summer Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Nice way of putting it.
This is the first summer in which he hasn't been summer Prime Minister, and we've had foot and mouth terrorist attacks and giant flooding across the country.
Are you suggesting he's some form of overlord?
That seemingly he was quietly playing a blinder for all these years.
He could have prevented the flooding if he just lay down next to the river. A human flood bank.
Summer Prime
That
Minister.
doesn't stop flooding, that just moves flooding further up the river.
I'm sorry, but I don't know as much about flood defences as you do.
Honestly, though, if a new London flood barrier is going to cost 20 billion quid, it's worth just dropping him in to see if it works.
Well, it is
somewhere near
we should
Tilbury.
wedge him in first and see how it works. Yeah.
In the, although he was an MP for 37 years, because he used to be a steward on cruise ships. Yeah. That's where he started. He was a steward on cruise ships. Nicholas Soames is the big, huge, fat one from the Conservative Party. Every time John Prescott walked into the chamber to make a point, Nicholas Soames went, "Gin and tonic, please, steward."
Nicholas Soames, of course, who was described, wasn't it, when he was like, somebody said, oh, what was it like having sex with Nicholas Soames? And they said, it was like a wardrobe falling on you with a very small key.
It's an amazing video from MFI, that. It's just
Falling wardrobes. While we're discussing these things, what won't Camilla Parker Bowles be doing on Friday?
Not going to the Diana tribute.
It is, yeah. We're not
The
sure.
reason being, of course, is that she shouldn't go. Obviously,
Yeah.
you know, she was the one who was partly responsible for them breaking up in the first place. Who else are they thinking of inviting that's going to be totally inappropriate? Is James Hewitt going to be there? Are the paparazzi going to be there? Are they going to invite the safety bloke from Mercedes-Benz?
She's not responsible for it. It seems like it's, you know, she was responsible for the breakup of the marriage, but you know, she's not responsible for the death of Diana. I don't
She
think
wouldn't have been in Paris if it hadn't been for her.
I don't think it. Yes, she would.
What? Did Camilla book a flight?
The thing is, so long as Camilla doesn't arrive at the party on the back of a scooter taking photographs, I don't really see what's so distasteful.
But once again, it's meant that the Daily Express has been able to have headlines every week on Diana. I mean, who buys the Daily Express? She's been dead for 10 years. Who goes, well, she has been dead for 10 years, but I wonder if in the last 24 hours something topical has happened.
What would be good would be if on the day of the memorial the Daily Express just didn't mention it. They've literally mentioned it every day, apart from the early edition on 9/11.
We already have, don't we, the Diana Memorial, which was supposed to, you know, show the joy and grief of her life. And I think that it's succeeded completely. You know, you've got the joy, haven't you, of splashing about in the fountain, and the grief of slipping over on the leaves and smacking your head. What could be a better tribute than that?
Not to mention the fact that it's shaped like a racetrack.
I've never seen it.
It's brilliant. We've got this horrible fountain, and Paris got that wonderful, beautiful "please slow down in the tunnel" sign.
It's difficult for Camilla to get it right, though, isn't it? She can't go to the concert, she can't go to the tribute day. It's hard to think of a time when it will be right for her to attend any Diana event. You know, oh, and here is Camilla looking resplendent at the Diana paintballing afternoon.
What I always find particularly funny is the way in which the public get angry as if they have any say in this. Yeah. As if, you know, no, she shouldn't be queen. No, it's a monarchy. You don't get to pick. That's the way a monarchy works. If you want a presidency, vote for a president. But you're either one way or the other. You can't go, oh, we should have her. She is essentially, in this situation, she is that relative who you invite to the wedding in the fervent hope that they can read through the lukewarm tone of the card and go, let's not go. You go, yes, 2 more seats for my college friends.
Do you know why she's not going? It's because the Queen's advisor told the Queen that she shouldn't go. And you find that must be such a dull job, being the Queen's advisor. Imagine that. Honey or jam on the jam.
I thought she wasn't going because she was running in the 3:15 at Chepstow.
You get those You know, you get those celebrity sat-navs now. You can actually get a Diana one. It just keeps saying, put your foot down, I think we can lose them.
Welcome to material that won't be broadcast.
So much here. Hey, we should give you a card at the start and you can write down stuff I won't expect to see when this goes on the television. And you can do it as a gamble with your mates. That's not going in. Oh, I think they might risk that one.
It's also the anniversary of Elvis dying this month, isn't it?
They're becoming strangely conflated, aren't they?
Yeah. People still think that Elvis faked his death. Surely if you were going to fake your death, it wouldn't be in a shitting-related accident. You'd be doing something brave, rescuing a wee boy from a river. Surely not a jobby-related heart attack.
It's not how I'd like to remember. Who else criticised Camilla's possible attendance, by the way?
Was it Ray Mears, the survivalist?
When pressed for comment, no, obviously it was the Daily Mail possibly took it too far. The Daily Mail's quote was about her attendance said, "Had Camilla attended on Friday, they would all have been damned." That's not over the top in any way whatsoever.
Do you know, I've done a computer programme that works out what the Daily Mail's average headline is, and it's "Asylum seekers carry a new type of AIDS that lowers house prices."
Well, who won't be there? Do you know who won't be there?
Ray Mears. Ray Mears
No,
won't be there.
no. Ray Mears won't be there.
Osama bin Laden.
Won't be there.
It's a much longer list than who will be there.
It is.
Have you got the list there? Fantastic. What about both the Chuckles? Because they won't be there.
No, one of them is going. That's why they're splitting up on the day.
They're not carrying-
Terry Chuckle.
Barry and the one who looks like a pedo. The other one. He's proper.
Looks like a pedo.
No, the other one looks like
The one
a
who
van
looks more
driver.
like a pedo, but if they were separated, you'd both know
The
you're
last,
both.
the last thing you want to hear from a pedo is "to me, to you."
I've got to be honest, on my not getting in bingo, I'm putting a little tick by that one.
Irish comedian Kevin Hayes used to do a very good joke about the fact that everyone thought Lady Diana was so great just because she shook hands with a few AIDS victims. Freddie Mercury used to fuck them.
Also not getting in. It is.
The Queen won't be there, because she's on her holidays.
How does the Queen know if she's on holiday? She doesn't fucking do anything. We're going to India next week. Is it work or a holiday? I have no idea. I wander around waving at people. Could well be work.
Talking of people who don't do anything for work, of course, obviously Prince Harry, he was supposed to be in Iraq, wasn't he? And they decided not to take him, because he actually works, doesn't he, for the household cavalry. And part of his job is actually looking after the Queen. So he was probably looking for a job working from home, wasn't he? You know, roll out of bed. You all right, Gran? Yeah, I'm fine. Great, back to bed again.
Give us a shout if you feel anything. Yeah.
Household cavalry does sound like you sort of clean George Foreman grills all day.
I'll never get this house done. We should call the cavalry. Don't know why they'd have to be that camp.
And you called the
That's the black and white minstrels, isn't
Oh,
it?
no, I wasn't doing the black and white minstrels.
Do you think the royals get to meet any real people? I reckon everyone they meet is some kind of secret agent. Like, even like Harry's girlfriend will be like a transsexual Gurkha. And she won the slut contest.
Harry's girlfriend.
How do you think you get to be Prince Harry's girlfriend? She's...
Probably not by entering a slut contest.
Yes, it was a slut contest. The end of the slut contest is they have to try and pick up the royal orb using only their vaginal muscles. An event which they dropped from It's a Royal Knockout.
How do you just get to be a judge at the slut competition?
I knew I'd be there.
Fuck this mock the week, lad.
We'll be
More
Simon
wet
Cowell.
on the t-shirt, please. The cavalry would come in. Where are the household cavalry? Wet the t-shirts.
People do love Diana, which is why they've got the Diana Society. She was voted, wasn't she, the third greatest Briton of all time. Now, I did have a few problems with that particular poll. Number 17, greatest Britons of all time, Michael Crawford, right? Just ahead of Michael Faraday, Stephen Hawking and Alexander Fleming. Right? So the great British public had obviously gone, well, the invention of penicillin, electricity and the Big Bang Theory, not bad. But not quite as good as roller skating underneath a lorry whilst wearing a tank top going, ooh, Betty.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Alan. Now we play a round called Monsters of Mock. This game involves Alan, Andy, Frankie and Ed, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winner is the team are judged to have the best stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is kids. Who wants to come in on that? Ed Byrne.
I had a great window recently into what it's like to have a child. I was on the tube in London and there was a woman there with her kid. And I know it was her kid because the kid said the word mum about 500 times. You know, one of those kids that just keeps going off like an alarm clock. Mum, 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 mum. And every now and again she'd go, what? But it was just like pressing snooze. Be off again a few minutes. And every time she'd say what, the kid would say something really innocuous and boring. Like, you could almost see the woman weighing it up in her head. Was that more or less irritating than the sound of it going mum, mum, mum? So, mum, 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 mum. What? That man has a hat. She did say this, though. She said the funniest thing I've ever overheard on public transport, about the 8th time the kid did it. Kid's going, mum, 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 mum. And without even looking, the woman just went, I can't believe how happy I was the first time you said that word.
Well done, Ed. OK, let's spin the wheel again. And the topic is the smoking ban. Alan Cochrane.
I'm a big fan of the smoking ban. As a non-smoker and a keen drinker, for me, the end of the Blair government was just wonderful because they brought in 24-hour drinking and banned smoking. There was some nights where it was like I had my own Prime Minister. I was just sitting in watching the news and Blair would be looking out going, go on, Alan, have a good night out. Drink till 4 without going to a nightclub if you want. When you wake up the next day, just put the clothes straight on. You won't even smell. It's wonderful. We're saving about £3 a month on soap powder, which I don't know about you, but I'm putting directly into a lager fund. But my main tipple of choice when I go out is the bottles of Sol or Corona, because you know it comes with a little wedge of lime in it, and that counts towards your 5 a day.
Very good, Alan Cochrane. OK, that leaves us with Andy and Frankie. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is television. Frankie.
The only TV award I've ever been nominated for was a Scottish BAFTA. A Scottish BAFTA. It's like hearing that the animals have their own Olympics. You hear all this stuff about TV being faked. Of course it's faked. It's all faked. You know that documentary a couple of weeks ago about tribal warfare among monkeys? That was all filmed in a Gates's wine lodge in Dundee. Comic relief is faked. Everybody in Africa is fine. I saw a documentary about Paris Hilton, and this could just be a story, but it said that when she was in jail, the warders put sperm into her porridge. That must have been a horrible moment for her. Oh, there's porridge in this.
OK, Andy, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Global warming is what that represents.
Apparently, right, we will have more extremes of weather. Now, we're lucky we live in a moderate country, right? Rest of the world, they have a tornado, an earthquake, thousands dead, homes destroyed, large-scale devastation. We in Britain, we have a tornado, well, 2 chimney pots cracked, 1 cat missing, 1 frozen chicken looted from Iceland.
Well done, Andy Parsons. The points there go to Ed and Andy. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Alan, which category would you like?
Nature, please.
OK, your category is nature. The answer is sparrows, otters and hedgehogs. What is the question?
What does Hugh Fernley Whittingstall's breath smell of?
What is the least popular Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavour?
What is the top-selling porn mag in Norfolk?
Who are the entrants in Simon Cowell's new TV show, The Woodlands Got Talent?
Is it what does Bill Oddie scream at the point of orgasm?
Rate these animals in order of the loudest bang they make when put on a bonfire.
Starting with the least painful, rate these animals in shaggability.
Is it, as a child, what did I dress in military uniforms to reenact the Battle of Stalingrad, the German forces being played by a lawnmower?
Name 3 colloquial terms for a lady's vagina.
Show us your hedgehog.
Is it water waiting patiently in a queue to get into Richard Gere's arse?
Won't be getting in.
What, is there a bouncer on the arse? Not with spines, mate, not tonight. What's on the menu at a gypsy wedding?
And you got the correct answer?
According to...
What's recently been put on the endangered species list?
Absolutely
it
right.
is.
Well done, Ed Byrne. Congratulations. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes, the question I was looking for is name 3 endangered species on a recently updated government list. On the list are over 1,000 plants and animals, a number that has doubled in the last decade. Significant new additions include hedgehogs, house sparrows and salmon. Why are they becoming endangered now? Any ideas?
Because they can't find them. That's it.
It's not because...
Well, no, it is. Basically, the field mice, there's a field mouse that's the size of a 2p, and they've gone, we can't find them. I reckon the mice just react in the same way we do when we see people with clipboards, you know, trying to get charity like that. Go, oh, there they are, hide. They've gone, party time for the mice.
They do reckon it's tidy gardens, don't they? They reckon there's gardens are too tidy, so sparrows, otters and hedgehogs are all... They're dying, but really they should just move. Because there's some really shitty gardens, isn't there? There's gardens that are overgrown where they could have a fridge and a mattress as well if they really thought about it on some estates.
You're right. It is short-sightedness on behalf of the otter.
Maybe it's time for them to get on the property ladder and have their own garden.
We've got to the stage where sparrows and otters are becoming extinct. I mean, the next series of Springwatch is going to be like Schindler's List. Just all shown in black and white with a little robin's red breast. Bill Oddie smuggling badgers through Belgium. It's going to be horrific.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
Just to see Oddie smoke. What you got there? Nothing.
There's a lot of animals that are, and not just in Britain, but that are on the endangered species list that kind of deserve to be. Like pandas, giant pandas. Yes, they're very cute and all that. But the reason they're endangered is because they won't have sex with each other, which is a crap reason to be endangered. If you can't be arsed humping yourself off the endangered species list, then you're not worth saving.
Do you know what they did? Do you see what they did in China?
There'll be a plaque that says pandas, we gave them every chance.
They did. They've been trying to figure out. They've been making panda porn
They have,
to get them in the mood.
Absolutely, I've seen it. Honestly, yeah. Genuinely. No, but they're genuine. It's a bizarre thing that they've showed them the panda porn in zoos in China, and the pandas don't respond. Presumably, they're just sat there going, bit creepy.
They make it in the first place, though.
Yeah.
If you've got two animals that don't have sex anyway, why don't we point a camera at them and get them to have sex in front of that?
Bamboos.
Come on, Ling Ling, pull out, give us the bamboo shot.
Okay.
I guess the reason why they don't have sex with each other is when you look at them, they obviously just look at each other and go, let's just cuddle.
The pandas want to die. The pandas want to die out, and we're forcing them to have sex. Imagine that in your deathbed, some zookeeper's trying to make you hump someone. I can.
Go for it.
not bad extinction, is it? I mean, it's less stuff to have to learn to teach your kids.
Yeah.
What's that, Daddy? Well, it's a dog, because there's only dogs left.
Because we like them. They're easy to keep going. I'm not allowed to kill anything. I've moved out of the country now, and my missus won't let me kill anything because something else always eats it.
Why? When you were in the middle of the city, she allowed you to go out and kill it? I found a tramp.
It wasn't a problem.
Favorite of some description. No one wanted him. I've taken and killed him.
And the annoying thing is...
want to die.
I tell you what's bizarre. Have you said because it's just Darwinism and the animals are changing to adapt to us? And have you seen what birds in the city now apparently sometimes mistake car horns and ringtones for mating calls, which is just hilarious. Just the idea of some poor bird. Next time you honk your car, basically you're turning on a bird. You know, just this bird flying over, going, "You're right, lads, I'm in love." What does she sound like? A little bit like na 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 na.
Isn't part of the problem, though, is that more and more people have got cats and they're killing all of the little creatures. My next-door neighbour's cats, they come over, kill all the little things in my garden and then do a shit. And the next-door neighbour goes, "Oh, it's all right, they're marking their territory." And I'm thinking, it's not its territory, it's my territory. I shouldn't have to have a crap in my own garden just to keep the cat out. If their cat's going to come into my garden and have a crap, I should go into their bloody kitchen, have a crap in their cat tray.
I have two cats and they murder everything and then they bring everything back. Like there is a flip side, and even if they haven't quite murdered it, and like stuff you'd expect, you know, mice and birds, but frogs. Like I've been interrupted. I watch the television and I hear this, which is the sound of a distressed frog.
Yeah,
Frogs make horrible noises.
Scream, don't they?
Toads scream. It's really, really evil, high-pitched kind of thing. It's a weird diorama. You walk out, like, and there's a frog screaming for its life, and a cat looking at you in a kind of a, go back to The Sopranos. There's nothing to see here.
That frog sounded a bit like Amy Winehouse. That frog sounded a bit like Amy Winehouse. Do it again.
Which is better, cats or dogs? Now, to me, it should be fairly obvious. Imagine guide cats for the blind. That'd be rubbish, wouldn't it? You know, crawling up fences, walking along walls, hiding under parked cars. That'd muck the blind people right up.
Halfway to the shop and they would just lose interest and fall asleep.
I did a terrible thing in Australia. There was a bloke, and I saw the dog. I didn't realise he was a guide dog, and I had some chocolate on me. So I kind of went, "Oh, mate," flung it, and just saw this poor bloke go. Felt a little bit bad.
I once, my girlfriend had a dog, and I shaved all its hair off. It was a spaniel. And then I laid all the hair out on the ground.
Oh, my God.
Like it was just a sort of flattened thing like that. And when she came back, I went, "Bit of an accident." She left me not long after that.
Are we getting close to the truth as to where all these animals are now going?
Frankly, roaming the countryside, creating dioramas.
She must have gone mental.
She
to
burst into tears and then left me about 2 weeks later, Russell.
It was 2 weeks later when she came back and only got 3 legs. She thought, "That's it."
I should go now, but he'll be... I'd go now, Frankie, but he'll be freezing. What is the story with these animals here?
They're orphaned hedgehogs.
They are orphaned
that
hedgehogs.
have clung to a brush because it reminds them of their mother.
That's just the image that we've put onto that picture. I mean, they could view that brush as a sex doll.
Technically, that's a hedgehog gangbang. Frankie's right.
Taken a really nice story and made it horrible now, yeah.
I actually know the details of the
It's
story.
not really that nice a story.
It's a
These
horrible
hedgehogs have been
story.
orphaned.
It's sad.
Okay, you like a nice story about orphans, do you? Oh, the mother's dead. Isn't that nice?
All great stories about about orphans. Every fairy tale is about orphans.
Harry Potter.
Another orphan. Oh, sorry. Oh, now you suddenly go...
Hang on.
Yeah, orphans are
Not all of them.
Excuse me,
Cool,
these
right?
haven't discovered magical powers.
Yeah.
Right? They're just
As
orphans.
far as you know.
They believe that the mother is a shoe brush.
Did you know that these three are apparently called, right, Mary, Mungo and Midge, right? And then the last one's called Slappy, right? What a shocking way of naming 4 hedgehogs. You'd have thought they could have picked 4 names, you know, that went together.
John, Paul, George and Ringo.
Exactly. As opposed to, you know, Ron, Hermione, Harry and Bonzo.
They called it Slappy because it won the hedgehog slut contest.
Maybe it was every time they went to give him a name, they were kind of going, we'll call you... All right. I have to call you Slappy.
What happened to the mum, then?
Their mum was killed in a...
She got hit
killed
by a truck. Yeah.
Why is it? Hedgehogs get run over all the
pallet
time.
truck.
But never, ever do they puncture their tyre. Which means their spikes are crap, really, isn't it?
I heard that...
They should evolve into having tungsten-tipped spider, yeah.
I heard what had happened, actually. The mother had been, you know, was a pet, and actually somebody had pulled out all the spikes. And when the girl had come back, there was just this bald mother there.
Just a load of spikes laying out.
That's
like
it.
That. Yeah. That was a reference back to Frank. Yeah.
You sick fucker, Andy.
OK. In political news, who's been getting tough on crime this week?
The A-team. The A-team.
The A-team are getting tough on crime this week, yes.
Not Cameron around this time.
Yes, David Cameron, you're right.
He's another of it. Well, because he's panicking but there might be an election.
Yeah.
And so he's just throwing out policies willy-nilly. He's thinking of a new policy every 15 minutes.
On the subject of the election, he said, if you look at my leadership as a whole, like the last 18 months, for the vast majority of that, I was ahead. And that is what people will judge me on. And you got to go, well, that's not the way it works. You can't go, well, we were 1-0 up for 89 minutes. And 2 late goals that statistically are irrelevant.
What does it matter what Cameron says anyway? It's like Ben Stiller saying that he's going to lower income tax, or Wayne Rooney committing more troops to Iraq. It's just you've got to have power for it to have any sort of relevance.
Absolutely. Well, he's blaming video games.
Well, he's saying... and rap music as well.
Yeah.
He's saying he wants to... He'll have regular talks with the music industry.
Oh, really?
To try and get them to curb their behaviour. I just love the idea of him gathering Snoop and Fiddy around and going, chaps, you're setting a bad example. Would you mind awfully just tuning it down a bit? That's what we'd really have.
That would be great. Now,
Cameron, suck my dick.
That was uncanny. When did Snoop come out?
Now,
I was doing Fizzy.
Surely if you...
Fiddy more suck my dick, wouldn't he? This.
You wouldn't say that to his face.
When would I ever meet?
Well, you
50
wouldn't have your
Cent?
showbiz parties.
Yeah, do I have them all the time? 50. This is Ronnie Corbett. Have you 2 men?
Even when you meet him, it's not him, it's a transsexual Gurkha. That's where the whole world works.
Is this Ronnie Corbett now? Yeah. For all those years.
Came second in the slut contest.
but do you find the only people that... You know, it does make you violent, but only towards rappers, because rap's so rubbish. You just listen to it, and it's just like... It used to be all right, but now it's just, I got this, I got that.
But it is very violent. I always think it's weird when you put on a CD and you basically listen to a man threaten you for 45 minutes. And you kind of feel like saying, why are you having a go at me? I bought your album. Surely I should be in your cool book. Go and threaten someone who doesn't like you. Have a go at me dad. He hates you.
That'd be a great song. Let's get Ed's dad.
I think it's difficult for David Cameron to tell kids not to listen to hip-hop when we all suspect he really likes Enya.
You can overdo this old violent films goes to, you know, people copy violent films, because surely in which case people would also copy non-violent films. Surely if that's the case, you could go along to King's Cross, stand in between platforms 9 and 10 and watch little kids running up, smacking their head on the pillars, desperately trying to find platform 9 and 3/4.
I think
It is funny when they do that, though, isn't it?
It's this whole
Try
thing.
harder. Try harder. You're just not believing enough.
You've given yourself the mark, though.
It's this whole thing, isn't it, where they're trying to control role models and they're talking about role models for black kids and so on. You think, well, kids choose bad role models. That's what they do. They look up to idiots. I mean, who's the role models for white kids? Wayne Rooney. I mean, he's going to finish his contract at Man U and then be released into the wild. Papers are full of all this obscene stuff that his girlfriend buys him. He'd be happy with just a tyre on a rope.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie Hugh and Alan. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could all make your way over to the performance area, please. I call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is things an athletics commentator would never say.
Here are the runners in the second heat of the women's 400 metres in order of fuckability.
I think it's going to be hard to follow that one.
The pole vault. Could there be a more ridiculous fucking thing to do on your Sunday afternoon?
There's a white man in the final of the 100 metres. Good luck with that.
That man runs like a panther. And if he could learn to use just 2 legs, he'd be absolutely unbeatable.
And I've got to say, it's a surprise, yes, the winner of the marathon are 4 blokes tied together dressed as Spider-Man.
This should be a laugh. Women running.
Lane 1, the UK. Lane 2, the USA. Lane 3, closed for resurfacing.
And in this final of the women's gymnastics, I've been nailed to my chair for my own good.
And here come the walkers now, mincing their way into the stadium.
And we've all got to admit, the long jump is a much more exciting now we've found out there's a landmine in the sandpit.
And that one at the end must feel like a right cunt.
There's the bell! Can someone get the door, please? I'm commentating.
Tragedy in the water polo, as most of the horses drown.
And the urine sample appears to have melted the beaker. That's not a good sign.
London have explained the design of their Olympic logo. Apparently they threw a paraplegic off a car park and drew a chalk outline around his body.
This is a first for athletics. The timekeeper has been hypnotised by the man's wang.
And in the end, it took a photograph to separate them. The one of him shagging a pole dancer in Nevada.
These triple jumpers have trained for years to go bouncing along the concrete like retards.
There's the bell! There's the bell! Those shorts leave nothing to the imagination.
They're unable to separate them with a photo, so it's going to have to be a slut contest.
The next topic is the worst thing to say when running for US president.
I intend to withdraw from Iraq, invade some real pussies like Spain.
Hi there, I'm like George Bush, only less intelligent.
I will never forget the terrible events of 9/12.
Now I know what you're thinking. A Sagittarius for president, but I have Leo rising.
Yes, I smoked marijuana, and I inhaled just now.
There are no skeletons in my closet, just a black latex dildo suit.
I would like you to call me President Shawada.
I have a magnificent war record. It's Pipes of Peace by Paul McCartney.
I tell you what, that 9/11 gave me a right boner.
not to just want to appeal to white voters. I also want to reach out to chinks, wops and negroes.
Please vote for me. If I get into the White House, my husband Bill promises to gobble me off.
Read my lips. Fuck you.
Okay, let's hear that.
I got a bad one, though.
Okay.
Bad one. Whilst at college, I did experiment with marijuana. I did it in snow, I did it in sleet, but I did not inhale.
At the end of that round, the points go to Russell, Ed and Andy. And that's the end of the show. This week's winners are Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Alan Cochrane. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Ed Byrne and Russell Howard. Thank you for watching. I'm Darren Breen. Good night. Watch Mock the Week tonight on BBC Two. It could be your last chance to hear jokes about John Prescott. Apparently, he's quite fat. Mock the Week tonight at 9. Oh, sorry. You have to do it again and you have to smile.
I'm smiling.
Yeah.
Are we in this show?
Yeah, you're in this fucking shot. Yeah, you have to look like, oh, fuck this shit.
I wasn't smiling because I was wondering.
I don't care why you weren't smiling. I want to get out of here. Shut up.
I just wanted to know what the restaurant might be about.
Okay, fine. Okay, cool.
It's about army training.
Okay. Watch Mock the Week tonight on BBC Two. It could be your last chance to hear jokes about John Prescott. Fuck, come on.
Come on, sir, I want to fucking get out of here.
Just say, I was smiling that time.
Leave him alone. He's my best friend.
Stop. 1 week it's Connie Hook, this week it's you. Rolling. Watch Mock the Week tonight on BBC Two. It could be your last chance to hear jokes about John Prescott. Apparently he's quite fat. We'll mention that. Mock the Week at 9. Do you know what you should watch after the restaurant? The Bill. Failing that, that's a terrible joke, isn't it? I think it's a good joke, but you got nothing. Anyway, I'll do it again. You can fucking laugh this time. Do you know what you should watch after the restaurant?
The Bill.
The Bill. Yeah. Actually, should we The Mint first on ITV Play, and then The Bill. Yeah.
You don't get your bill after you leave the
shut
restaurant,
up.
do you?
Shut the fuck up.
It doesn't work.
You're demoted. You're on Best
After the
Friend
restaurant,
Junior.
you should watch The Taxi Home.
And some poon.
Taxi.
Okay.